You are now listening to the Legends Lingo podcast, presented by CouchGuysSports.com. Here are your hosts, Al.
You didn't ask him about that long?
I was getting there, Beetle.
What the fuck kind of host are you? I mean, you're
Beetle,
burying the
holy
lead.
Shit, dude. Someone
Chris
give her
is-
a chip, please.
Powder,
Yes, sir.
and Matty D.
And on top of that, now you have a triple effect. You have the Niners looking for a long-term answer with Jimmy G in-house. Maybe they don't want to spend the money on Jimmy G. Maybe he gets freed up because they go after a guy like Teddy Bridgewater, who now theoretically could be freed up. So there's a lot of dominoes to fall.
Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Legends Lingo podcast, episode 121. As always, presented by the best in the business, Couch Guys Sports. Check out everything at CouchGuysSports.com, from the blogs to the podcast to the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel, and everything else in between. Make sure to rate and subscribe to the Legends Lingo podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud and Spotify and everywhere else where you can find a podcast. As always, I'm your host, Alan Nahigian. Alongside me, we have Tom Powder Cadmus. Powder, what is up?
Nothing. Just worked another tournament this weekend and had his beautiful weekend. Couldn't have asked for better weather this weekend. How are you, Al?
I'm good. The weather's great. School's almost out of session for the summer, and I am pumped to actually get outside and not have to wear a mask, hopefully soon, which is great because of the announcement that Governor Baker made in Massachusetts with everything that's going on. So very glad to hear that. Matty D is not here yet. He's running just a little bit late, so he will be joining us. We do have somebody else that's joining us from our very own Couch Guys Sports Network, from the Into the Rafters podcast, our Boston Celtics podcast on the network. It is Liam McDaid. Liam, did I say your last name right?
Yeah, McDaid, that good Irish.
That good Irish. Liam, it's a pleasure to have you on. How are you tonight is the question.
I'm living the dream. Always living the dream. I appreciate you boys having me on. Feels good.
It's going to be a good episode. We have a wide variety of topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. Obviously, we brought Liam on because the Celtics are in the play-in tournament. They're going to be taking on the Washington Wizards on Tuesday night, May 18th. So we are actually, this is a little different for us. We usually record on Tuesday nights. Tonight, we're switching it up a little bit because of scheduling conflicts, mainly from me. So sorry about it.
Tough being so busy.
Yeah, I know. Believe me. I wish I wasn't so busy. Believe me. But Monday night recording, night before the Celtics game, and the night of game 2 of the Bruins first round series with the Washington Capitals, which we'll get into. And obviously we are also going to be talking Patriots schedule because the Patriots schedule is officially out. So we're going to be making some predictions. But before we start all that, Matty D is in the house. His hair is looking good. Grand entrance by Matty D right there, by the way. Matty D, what's up, buddy?
Not much, just excited to record this week's episode.
Exactly. Nice and easy, to the point. Don't worry, you only missed the first 2 minutes, so you're good. We're just getting through all the introduction stuff, so you have not missed a thing. So you're all good. But you know what? I'm going to let our guest kind of lead the conversation. So, Liam, what would you like to talk about first?
Let's start with the Bruins, seeing as I made some money off them last night betting against them. So
wow, you are just like
I know I'm a terrible human being. That's my core, actually.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But we'll talk about the Bruins. So the Boston Bruins opened up their Eastern Conference quarterfinal matchup with the Washington Capitals on Saturday night. It ended up being a disappointing loss. It was a 3-2 overtime loss against the Capitals. And just a few quick observations on the game. The Bruins were behind the whole time, which kind of made it difficult for them. They were playing catch up the whole game. Tom Wilson, of course, had to score the first goal of the series. That was just like a kick in the pants, which nobody needed because Tom Wilson is a dirtbag, and I don't mind saying it. He is an absolute dirtbag. But, I mean, he is. And, I mean, there were some good goals. Jake DeBrusk had a good goal to sort of open up the scoring festivities for the Bruins. Nick Ritchie had a tough goal in front, which barely went over the goal line, but hey, you'll take it. We love seeing that. Big body, big physical play. But, of course, Tuukka Rask lets in a little, we'll put in air quotes, a little softy, and all of a sudden, what's the Boston sports media saying? You can't win with Tuukka Rask in net. You're not going to get it done. Go to Jeremy Swayman. Listen, you're going to have about a decade plus of Jeremy Swayman. Enjoy Tuukka right now. Okay, and I wrote an article on Couch Guy about it. Enjoy Tuukka Rask because you don't get to where you are without Tuukka Rask. Get that through your head, you stubborn Bruins fans. And this is coming from the casual Bruins fan. I actually know one thing about hockey, and that's Tuukka Rask is good. End rant. Let's start with Powder. Then we'll go to Liam. Then we'll go to Matty D. Powder, just kind of thoughts on the first game. Anything you noticed? Anything that you would like to predict?
Just in the first game, kind of seems like they got outplayed a little bit. Like you said, Al being behind every opportunity, they were tied up, but they couldn't get that goal to put them ahead. They could never get ahead in the game and kind of steal momentum back. But I think they'll come out a little fiery. They want to get home ice advantage back, so I could definitely see them taking game 2 tonight and tying the series 1-1, going back to Boston. So I think this is a big game for the Bruins. I think this is a must win for them. They go down 2-0, even though they're coming back to Boston. I still think that's going to be a tough hill to climb if they're down 2-0.
And let's be clear, like home ice advantage in hockey in the playoffs doesn't really mean much.
No.
I mean, let's just call it like it is. But yes, going back to Boston tied at 1, agreed. Should happen. I think it has to happen, but anything can happen in a 7-game series in hockey. Liam, you won money by betting against the Bruins. You slime ball. I can't believe you. I can't believe you did that, but give us your thoughts.
I regret nothing. I also hammered the under in that game, so that definitely helped. But overall, I, just like you, I'm a very casual Bruins fan. No, very little, except for like the research I do when I'm throwing the occasional bet. Obviously, I love playoff hockey like most people. Like then the game gets amped up a little bit, so I tune into it. And just from the light research I've done, the Caps just seem like an overall like much better team. The couple times that they played this season, the Bruins played them well. And like, obviously they were able to take a couple games, and the last game of the season was very unspectacular. You know, they sat a couple of guys. It wasn't as exciting, but I just think now that they got Ovechkin back and they are a complete team, there's just not a whole lot of hope I have in the Bruins. I, like you guys, think the Bruins win tonight because they have to at least get one game. And I think this is one of those big momentum games where they kind of got their teeth kicked in the first one, and they're going to come back, and I definitely think they get the dub tonight. But overall, I think it's kind of a lost cause for the Bruins. They've had a spectacular season, and I love Taylor Hall more than most of my relatives, but I just can't see the Bruins getting past this round.
Wow, a first-round exit from the casual Bruins diehard Celtics fan, which we'll get to the Celtics in a little bit because I'm sure a lot of us want to talk Celtics, but what a prediction from Liam. Wow, coming on here, guns a-blazing. I respect it. Coming in hot is right. Matty D, to you.
So, losing game 1 was definitely disheartening because it was, even though they were outplayed, they still could have stole it. And anytime you can steal a game on the road, you want it. You just need those type of games. Game 2 becomes very, very important. Their record is pretty atrocious if they lose the first 2 games of a series. So this is a must-win game if there ever was one. And Liam, brother, why don't you hook me up with some picks right after the pod?
Oh, I got you. Absolutely.
Because I need to make some scratch too, man.
I got you. Don't even worry about it. I got.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I might need to hit you up for to go to Rhode Island this weekend and play some there. So just saying.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Listen, the mandates are going out are leaving now.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could be in for some fun times. Put it that way. But what's not a fun time is the Bruins being down 1-0. They need to win. So as we're recording, it's Monday night, May 17th. I almost said January for some reason. I don't know why January popped into my head, but Monday, May 7th. I know it's brutal. It's been a long year. Monday, May 17th, the Bruins are actually just about to drop the puck as we are recording. So I think you got to come out game 2. You got to be more physical. You have to prove to the Capitals that you're not going to be pushed around. I would like to see the second line get involved with the scoring. Guys like Craig Smith, Taylor Hall, David Krejci, those guys got to get involved. And I think honestly, the perfection line, they got to come to play too. With Marchand and Bergeron and Pasternak, and they have to set the tone. Get a few goals early, step down on Washington and say, hey, we're going to make this a series. This isn't going to be a layover. So,
yeah, it's super important for them to have to come out, open the game a little bit. That allows that, top line to go ahead and put pucks on net.
This is true. Cycle the puck, pucks in deep, pucks on net. That's how we refer to hockey in these parts. So we love that. But we're going to move on now. But before we move on, Liam, what if I could tempt you into a good bite to eat?
I just had a lot of Mexican food, but I am tough to turn down food. So I guess I would like some snackage.
Would you like to go to a place called the Cowbell?
Slightly less appealing, but yeah, I'm an open guy. Maybe I'd try it.
Well, you better not say that too loud because we have a featured sponsor of the month for the month of May, and that is Cowbell Burgers in Maine. Cowbell has multiple locations throughout southern Maine. Any vacationers that are traveling to Maine this month, or really any month, and this upcoming summer, because it's going to be beautiful out, you need to be able to check this place out because it is great. Cowbell has 3 locations throughout Maine, the original location being in Biddeford, which is about 20 minutes south of Portland and connected to Old Orchard Beach. The second one is about an hour north from the Biddeford location, which is located in Lewiston, right off the highway. The third and final location is their newest one in Scarborough that just opened up a little bit over a year ago. Cowbell has received multiple accolades in the past 5 years of their existence. They've been named one of the top burgers, okay, and I mean this, one of the top burgers in the past 2 years in Maine, and the #1 most popular vacation guide magazine, and that magazine is Down East Magazine. So they are getting some good recognition for their food. I think I saw they had like buffalo chicken soup or something like that, which I thought was actually appealing. They had some good burgers on there, some good salads if you like to eat your greens, which some of us do, some of us don't, but that's okay. The Cowbell is a must try if you get the chance to travel to Maine anytime in the near future. And here's where the kicker comes in. So Liam, you might want to perk your ears up for this one. If you go to any of the Cowbell locations and you tell them that Legends Lingo Podcast sent you, you will receive 10% off your meal at checkout. 10% off. So again, search them online, Cowbell Restaurants in Maine, or check out their website at www.cowbellmaine.com. Check it out. Go in there, get 10% off just by telling them that Legends Lingo sent you. Shout out to Cowbell for being our sponsor in May. Shout out to those guys for actually taking a chance on us. So it's always nice to get some good food. But now we're going to talk about really the main reason why we brought Liam on here. We're going to talk about the Boston Celtics. Because the Boston Celtics, they're officially, I don't want to say officially, but they're in contention to be in the first round of the playoffs. They're in the play-in tournament. So the Celtics are the 7th seed. They are taking on the Washington Wizards on Tuesday, May 18th, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tip-off. Weird time. Yeah, really weird. Yeah, Matty, I'm with you. That face
too
just
late.
Yes, too late.
2 East Coast teams starting at 9. You know what gives?
It's because the other game. So the other game in the play-in tournament is Indiana and Charlotte.
Charlotte, yes.
Yeah, Indiana and Charlotte. They're playing, I think it's 6:30 or 6:00 before, so that's why. I don't know why they did it that way, but whatever. But with that being said, Celtics are taking on the Wizards. I got a little bit of a crazy take. It may not be conventional, and I'm going to say this later on the Rafters podcast. So Liam gets a little preview, but guys, I got quite a prediction for you. You ready?
Go.
I think the Celtics should lose the game to Washington and then beat the winner of Charlotte and Indiana to get the 8th seed and play against Philly as opposed to playing against Brooklyn. That is my bold take. Now, think about this for a second. Now, here's why. The Celtics have proven this year that they cannot compete for 4 quarters in a game with Brooklyn. Jaylen Brown's now out. Now, I'm not saying that would help against Philly either. I totally get that. But here's the thing that we need to consider. I would rather take my chances against Philadelphia, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. Now, Joel's going to get his 30 to 40 probably a night. If you can shut down everybody else, you have a chance. 8 seeds have upset 1 seeds before. I do not like the matchup with Brooklyn. I hate the matchup. I don't like the matchup against Kevin Durant. I don't like the matchup against James Harden. I hate the matchup against Kyrie Irving because Kyrie Irving is probably going to do work on Kemba Walker. I hate to say it. I just don't like the matchup against Brooklyn. I would prefer the matchup against Philly. And then you know what? Then if you have to play Brooklyn or in the second round, that's a bonus because you weren't supposed to get there anyway. So that's kind of my crazy take regarding the Celtics. So I'm going to
a lot to digest there.
Yeah.
So how about this? How about we give Matty D the floor, and then we'll kick it to Liam so you have time to digest everything as you're drinking your fluids, and then we'll kick it to Powder with the nice hair and glasses over there. Fair enough?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's start with Matty D. Go ahead, Matty.
So I like the strategy there, because they are better suited to play the 76ers than the Nets. And if you watch the Nets over the last couple days, I mean, they seem poised and ready to make a deep playoff run. They're starting to click. Last night they probably had the play of the year. It was like a behind the back pass from Blake Griffin, pushed up the court, ended up being a alley-oop off the backboard to Durant. That type of stuff. I don't like. I believe in juju in sports, so I want to stay away from the teams with the highest juju. Speaking of juju, though, the Wizards have a bunch of good juju right now. So whether they want to or not, they may lose this first game. Whether it's strategy or not, they may lose this first game, and it is dangerous to do so because after that, Indiana Pacers and Charlotte Hornets are not layups, especially with no Jaylen Brown. So I got to be honest with you guys. My bold take here is that they don't even make it to the real playoffs.
That could very well happen. I think Washington 5 in their last 22. So I don't like the matchup, but if you lose it, I'm not going to necessarily cry over it because I would like our chances against Indiana and Charlotte. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, the fork in the road, you're going to choose the path that gets you to the 76ers over the Nets. So I think you're right on that with that, Alan.
Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. You're a nice guy.
That was me throwing the ball off the backboard so you could dunk it, baby.
There's your dunk. I barely got off the ground when I jumped. All right, Liam, to you now.
I gotta agree with Matty here. I don't think the Celtics have much choice. I think after tomorrow, Brad Stevens and all players on the Celtics roster will be able to file a full-out lawsuit against Russell Westbrook for what he is going to do to them tomorrow. Russell Westbrook has a chance to lose every penny that he's made through his NBA career because he is going to assault the Celtics. There is little chance that they win this game. Bradley Beal alone, I'd be nervous. Russell Westbrook and him together, that whole team is playing great. Like you said, 15-5 in their last couple of games, and they've taken down some of the top teams in the league. I'm a huge Russell Westbrook guy, and just the lineups the Celtics have rolled out recently have made me extremely nervous. We could have beaten the Knicks, but that was almost a miracle in and of itself. We had G League players going off for great performances, but for the most part, they play for the Maine Red Claws. They don't play for the Boston Celtics. There's probably a reason for that. So we're rolling out 3 to 4 G League players in our lineups, starting one of them, sometimes 2. It's not looking good. So I definitely think they could and probably will beat either the Pacers or the Hornets. I think the Hornets will end up taking that because the Pacers don't really have much to play for anymore. But overall, I think they're screwed no matter what. They're definitely going to lose to the Nets, and I would much rather play the Nets than the Sixers. The Sixers are disgusting. That's the team coming out of the East this year. I think there's a lot of problems behind the scenes with Brooklyn, and the fact that their big three has played like 4 games together in total all season. It's a much bigger problem than you expect. Even the big 4, when they got Blake Griffin, he only came more than halfway through the season through a buyout. And I just think that matters a lot in the playoffs. They don't play so much together as a team as much as they do a team that has Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers ever, Kyrie Irving, like arguably the best scoring point guard ever, and then James Harden, who's just perfect. So they have all these studs on the team, and they're going to play great no matter what. But when they run into an actual buzzsaw team that plays together like Philadelphia, no one's going to stop Joel Embiid. Uncle Jeff is going to get destroyed by Embiid down low. Ben Simmons is the perfect mismatch for any team. Seth Curry shooting the lights out of the ball. I've had a special place in my heart for Danny Green since I was a wee lad. The Sixers are really, really, really going to take this one. They're going to the finals, and I don't care who's coming out of the West. The Sixers are likely going to win it all. They just seem like this is their year. And Doc Rivers, I believe in him more than any other coach the Celtics have ever had. I love Doc Rivers, always have been. That was the coach when I was growing up for him. And I think he's got this team exactly where he wants them. And Sixers are going to the finals.
Wow, that's a bold take.
How's that for digestion? Boom.
That's I ate earlier, so I thought that was gonna have to take some time to digest, but I need to digest that too. Yeah. That's the dessert. That's essentially the dessert
for you.
You did. I didn't dunk it though. I like clanked it off the backboard like Jordan in the All-Star game. All right, let's go to Powder now. Powder.
That is definitely tough to follow up, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, I feel bad. I like covered all the bases there. I'm like,
Yeah. But being the casual basketball fan I am, I just, from what I've seen recently, I just don't see the Celtics like Matty said, making out the play-in tournament, because I just think with injuries and just the recent play of late, they're just not playing well. Where like everybody said, the Wizards are playing really well, and I just think maybe Charlotte just takes it to the Celtics because they probably will want it more. And I don't think this is a Celtics year. At the beginning of the year, I did. When they started off hot, I was like, maybe it could be a year they make a run. But obviously, as the year's gone on, we've seen that it just has not been their year. They just have not clicked as a team at all. So I don't see them coming out of playing games.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be actually rather ugly. By the time we record our next episode, they're probably going to be out of the tournament, or maybe either preparing to get swept by Brooklyn or losing in 5 to Philly. That's just my thought. But you know what this is the year of? This is the year of food, and we're going to give another food company a little shout out here. I know Liam's getting hungry. I know Matty D every week is getting hungry.
Oh,
so
every week.
So every week we got to shout them out. And this time, with the updates and the mandates and everything, might be able soon to all enjoy a bite at A&B Burgers right across from the Garden. Powder, you want to tell us a little more?
Yeah, we're thankful for A&B being a sponsor of us. Like I say, each week I'm getting closer and closer, getting us a promo code. So it should be in the next couple of weeks, like how we have a cowbell. But let me tell you about A&B Kitchen and Bar that's located in Boston, right across the street from the TD Garden. It's on Beverly Street, and it's like I said, right across from TD Garden. It's the newest spot to meet up before or after games for dinner and drinks, offering an elevated take on a traditional New England pub menu with freshly made in-house dishes like chicken pot pie, meatloaf made with organically raised beef from Neiman Ranch, local clams and sausage, and locally caught fish and chips. Draft beers from area breweries like Gentile Brewery in Beverly and Lord Hobo and Notch pair perfectly as well with all those great burgers. Looking for a patio dining experience? A&B Kitchen has a raised patio with spectacular views of the garden and the Zakim Bridge. With newly installed heaters, well, actually now we don't need the heaters. So beautiful out, we don't even need the heaters.
True that.
To sit outside. But if you also want to sit inside but have the outside feel, they have 32 feet of open garage doors along Causeway Street and 16 feet along Beverly Street. So like I said, if you want the outdoor feel but inside, you can sit right along the garage doors. And they have 9 70-inch TVs. So if you don't get a ticket to a game but you still want to catch the Celtics or Bruins and be right in the atmosphere in Boston, go to A&B Kitchen and Pub and watch it on one of those 70-inch TVs. They're open Monday through Sunday at 3 p.m. And if there's a day game, they open at 11 a.m. Again, I'm working on getting a promo code, and as soon as I do, we will get it out to all our loyal listeners. Again, thank you, A&B Kitchen and Bar, for being a sponsor of Legends Lingo.
Shout out A&B Burgers. Very good sponsor. There may be another sponsor that's coming to the network very, very soon, hopefully within the next month. And it's not a food one. It's going to be something different. It's going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to like. So I'm just going to tell you, stay tuned for that and keep listening for that. Final topic that we're going to discuss tonight, Patriots schedule has officially come out for 2021. Wrote an article on it. If you want to know what my season record is, either continue listening to this or just go check out the article at couchguysports.com because I have it in detail written out. Boys, it's time to play a little Patriots regular season record prediction.
Yeah.
So, rules are
Let's
simple.
do it.
Rules are very simple. We're going to say the game. We're going to say the winner, and we'll see what happens. If we have to, we can do a little tiebreaker at the end of the season, but I think we should throw a little incentive on there. What do we think?
Yeah,
Of course.
I'm fine.
What do we say? Winner gets $50.
Sure.
Whoa.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen.
let's do it.
$12 each, or 16, whatever it is. We can figure out the numbers later, but we'll say on record.
Mhm.
Liam's a part of this too. $50 each.
Let's do it.
And if there's a split, we'll split it. But anyways, okay. So here we go. Actually, let's throw scores in too. If you get close, we'll figure out this. We'll figure out the logistics later, but we'll throw scores in too.
Okay.
So, first game of the Patriots season, September 12th, 2021, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, home against the Miami Dolphins. So I'm going to start us off. I'll kick us off because this was my idea, so we'll kind of kick it off with me. I'm going to Patriots win. I think the Patriots take care of business because, honestly, you think about it, right? Patriots played Miami last year, season opener. Tua Tagovailoa is trying to prove himself in his second year, but I think Cam Newton balls out in his first game, does his job. I'm going Patriots 24, Dolphins 17 for me. We'll go to Matty D for the next one. Matty?
I have the Patriots losing the home opener to the Miami Dolphins. I think the Miami Dolphins are poised to take that next step. And I think that the season narrative will be that Cam Newton is not the guy. So if he's the starter to come out of the gate, they're going to lose that first game. I have the Patriots losing also 24-13
Wow, 24-13 Dolphins from Matty
to Dolphins.
D.
Yeah.
What
was your score, Al, real quick?
24-17 Patriots.
All right.
All right, Mr. McDaid?
Very, very suspect, Matty. Very suspect answer. And I will remember that when I'm watching this game. But I think
So will I, because we got some beans on this.
excellent. For this game, it's a no-brainer for me. It's just like the first game against the Dolphins last year. I think this is irrelevant, not so much the bet, but Cam gets 2 rushing tubs and they end up winning 34-14 and a dick kicking of the Dolphins.
Okay. All right, Powder?
I just think the first full capacity crowd back in Gillette in over a year in a full season, it's just the Patriots are going to come out ready to go, and they want to prove a lot of people wrong after last year having a losing record first time in a long, long time. Bill Belichick is going to get them fired up to win. And I just can't see the Patriots dropping this game. I know Miami is going to be very good, and I think they're going to compete not only in the AFC East, but in the AFC as a whole. But I just think the Patriots are going to come out way too far, and I'm going to say they're going to win 31-20.
31-20 Patriots. So 3 Patriots wins and a Dolphins win, which we'll see what happens.
That's where I get my leg up, boys.
Or your leg down and you'll be in the hole already. But
Now I'm just gonna copy you guys' picks every time. That's my one difference maker. Opening day, I win it or lose it.
oh, what a cheater. All right, week 2 at the New York Jets on September 19th. That is a 1:00 game. I'm going to say this. Jets, rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson. I don't care what he was at BYU. It's Belichick against a rookie quarterback. I like my chances here. I love the Patriots going 2-0. And I'm going to go, actually, you know what? I'm going to let Matty D go first, then Liam, then Powder, then myself. We'll switch it up. So I apologize. But Matty, go ahead.
So I do have the Patriots winning this game, eking it out, winning 17-10.
You just don't think they're going to be good. My goodness.
Stay tuned, though. Listeners,
All
don't
right.
tune out yet.
All
Any
right.
hater?
All right.
No.
We'll see.
No.
Realistic.
Liam?
So I love your point that you made. Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback. This dude would be lucky to score 2 touchdowns. I think this ends up being 28-21. No, that's a little much. I'll say 21-7 Pats.
All right. Powder?
Yeah, like both of you have said, just Bill Belichick against a rookie, especially his second week out, he's still going to be learning the NFL and how quick the game is. Belichick is going to run some schemes on him that he hasn't seen yet, and I just think the Patriots are going to take this one. And I think the Jets defense still isn't going to be there, so I think the Patriots are going to score a good amount. So I'm going to say 28-10.
Okay. Week 3, home against the New Orleans Saints.
Wait, Al, what's your score?
What's your score, Al?
Yeah, come on.
Patriots 28, Jets 14.
Okay. All touchdowns that game.
All touchdowns. You'll notice a theme with me.
Easy math.
Easy. The math teacher does easy math. Now, week 3, New Orleans. I'm going to keep it simple. Jameis Winston, quarterback. Patriots squeak out a win. Liam, what do you got?
score?
So
What's the
is-
score?
I know. We're gonna go in the order. I keep
Oh.
saying I'm gonna go first, but I don't mean to. Liam, go first.
So is this in New England?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I had my doubts if it's in New Orleans, but in New England, I definitely think they can pull it out. I think this is a closer one, though. This comes down, it's going to be a weird score. I'm thinking 27-21 Patriots win it at the end.
Powder.
I'm going to say the Saints just are a little too much. I think Cam's going to still be a quarterback. I think their defense is going to be too good. And I don't think the Patriots are going to go undefeated. They're going to have some losses, some clunkers while Cam's still at quarterback. So I'm going to say the Saints take this one 28-24.
Okay. I got Patriots 27, Saints 21.
And I am actually going to side with Powder on this one. I think that the Saints will win in a very ugly, very crap game where Taysom Hill and Cam Newton look like they're playing high school football against one another, running more than they throw, and they lose 13-10.
Oh, by the way, breaking news. The Boston Bruins are currently up 1-0 against Washington Capitals. Jacob DeBrusk with another goal.
Nice. I bet them.
So we love that. All right, now I'm going to make sure I do this right. Week 4. Tampa Bay is back. Tom Brady's back. Gronk's back. The champs come into Gillette. Powder, you're first. Your prediction.
I think Brady just wants to prove that he's just that's still good. I think he's going to come back to Gillette and put on a show. And I just think he's going to be too much for the Patriots. I think Buccaneers, there's a reason they won the Super Bowl. And I think they have a legitimate chance to repeat because they got everybody back. And I think they added in. That's scary when the champs add and become better in the offseason. So I think the Buccaneers are going to win pretty good. I think they're going to win 35-10.
Okay. I'll go next. I'll keep it short and sweet. Bucks 31, Patriots 17. Matty?
I'm not doing this for that strategy that I talked about earlier, but I completely agree with Powder. One even down to the score. I had the score in my head before he said it. 35-10. I think Brady comes in and just kicks the crap out of the Patriots.
Okay. Liam, to round out 4.
A bunch of haters. So I got Brady coming back here. I don't know what Powder's talking about. I don't think they got better. I don't think they added anyone. And I don't think they're repeating. I think the Patriots win 31-27. And I'm hammering the Patriots when that comes around.
You are a bold man, Charlie Brown. You are a bold man.
Ain't no bold, just truthful.
Week 5 at the Houston Texans, Sunday, October 10th. I'm going to go with Patriots 31, Texans 14. I just don't think the Texans really have anybody good. And if Deshaun Watson isn't playing, who's their quarterback? Plain simple. Let's go to Matty.
So here is Narrative Street for you guys. That ass kicking at home to the Buccaneers provokes Belichick to turn to the rookie. Mac Jones takes over week 5. They come out, light it up, 35-13. Patriots win.
Liam didn't like that one. Liam, go ahead.
Kill me. Obviously it's going to be an ass kick unless Deshaun Watson plays. Then we probably lose a close one because that always seems like the case, or a win close one, but it's usually a loss against Deshaun. I say without him playing, this is a 31-10 victory. Just a fair blowout.
Powder.
Yeah, I'm going to have it a little closer, but I still think the Patriots win pretty good. I think they're going to win 28-21.
Okay. Week 6, Dallas Cowboys in Gillette at home. Matty D.
See, this is where I think that Bill Belichick comes to play, and you see vintage Patriots against a team that on paper will probably be predicted to win that game. And I think the Patriots come out on top and they win 24-17.
Okay. Liam?
Took the words right out of my mouth, except, unlike, he has Mac Jones coming in the week before. I think Cam Newton has one of his best games of the season. I think the score is the exact same. Bill loves beating up on the Cowgirls, and I just love to see the Cowgirls lose. So I'm right there with Matt there. Cam Newton has a game.
Wait, that's a weird way to pronounce Mac Jones.
Nope, that's exactly.
What's your final, Liam?
Same as what would you say?
24-17.
24-17, yeah.
All right. Powder.
I'm going to say this game's going to come down to last second field goal, and I think the Patriots squeak it out 21-18.
Okay, so I had a little different. I went a little higher, and I actually went with the Cowboys pulling off an upset in Foxborough. I got Cowboys 38, Patriots 35. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a shootout.
That's a fantasy night right there, baby.
Exactly, especially with Dak in the picture. Oh, man. All right, Week 7, New York Jets at home on October 24th. It's a 1 o'clock start. Let's see here. I believe it is Liam. I think we start with you now.
Once again, it's the Jets. I think at this point, their rookie quarterback's going to be shaken in his confidence a little bit. They bolstered their offensive line, but they're still not stellar. They don't have a lot of offensive weapons and a run game that is basically non-existent. I think this ends up being an ass kicking, and the Patriots win 35-3.
Wow, that's quite the score right there. Powder?
I'm going to go not the opposite, like the Patriots lose, but I think Jets are going to be playing a little bit better. They're going to start figuring out a little bit, but Patriots still win this 28-24.
Okay. I have Patriots winning 24-14. I think they just take the season series against the Jets because I think the Patriots are just better on paper. Matty?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a blowout here. I do think there might be a little bit more life to the Jets offense at this point in the season, but still I have them winning 31-17.
Also, breaking news: Capitals have tied at 1-1.
What else is
Yeah. All right. Week 8 at the Los Angeles Chargers on Halloween, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powder, you first.
I just think the Chargers are going to be a different team. I think they're going to be very good this year. I think Herbert's going to take another step forward after being the Rookie of the Year. I just think the Chargers are going to take this one because it's in LA. I think if it was in Gillette, Patriots take this easy, but just being LA, being away on the other coast, I think Chargers are going to be good. I think they're going to take this 21-14.
Okay. So I'm going to remember last year because the Patriots, even though they were bad, kicked the stuffing out of the Chargers in Los Angeles, 45-0. I don't think it's going to be that bad this time because I think Justin Herbert is going to get some points on the board. He's going to throw a touchdown with about a minute left to make the game 38-10 because that's my final score. Patriots 38, Chargers 10. Matty?
Yeah, I think that the Patriots will be too much for the Chargers. I do think, obviously, their offense is pretty great. You know, the Chargers, led by Justin Herbert, is pretty dynamic. But, you know, Bill Belichick like to take those games and dumb them down, kind of slow them down, take the ball out of his hands. I think they win on the road 24-21.
Okay. Liam?
So I'm with you here on this one, Al. I guess I like Justin Herbert a lot. I think he's a stud. I thought he was going to be terrible coming into the draft. He completely blew me away. So I got to say that this is a shootout here. It's definitely a close one, but the Patriots remain undefeated in my book and win 37-30. No defense across the board. The Chargers defense is not looking great. And just like every year, they're most likely going to lose both their corners by week 3. So I imagine it's just all offense on both sides.
Okay. All right. Week 9 at Carolina, Sunday, November 7th, 4:05 Eastern Standard Time start. I believe I'm first for this one. Keep it simple. I think the Patriots make one more play than the Panthers in this one, and they win a close one, 24-21. Patriots, 24-21. Matty?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm just going to change the score in the spirit of competition that they win 21-10.
Okay. Liam?
Call me crazy here. I'm giving the Patriots their first L. I think Sam Darnold's a bad man. And Cam Newton returning to Carolina, it's going to be a little bit in his psyche. I can already hear Matty over there laughing because he doesn't even have Cam playing in this game. But Cam's going to come back. He's going to mess with his psyche a little bit. And Sam Darnold's going to do great things with this offense. I see the final score being something like 21-17, a close loss, but the weapons they got, run CMC in the backfield. I think Sam Darnold's going to have a great year with the Panthers. They're going to be a sneaky team. Take the Patriots getting their first L.
All right. Powder?
I'm going to just have the Patriots simple taking this game. I think Bill Belichick is just the better coach in this matchup, and he's going to find a way to win this game. Another close one. I'm going to say 28-27. Real.
Little 1-point game there. I like that. All right. Week 10 home against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 14th, 1:00 start. I think the Patriots fall in this one. I think the Browns actually have one of their good games. They have so many offensive weapons. Their defense is pretty good. I think it's Browns 28, Patriots 20. So we'll go to Matty.
This game, I kind of agree with you there, Al. I think that when the Browns are clicking, they're going to be really good this year. So I have them winning 24-20.
Okay. Liam?
So I got the Browns laying a Brown one. Classic. I think the Browns lose, say, 20-10. They just can't get their offense going.
20-10 Patriots win there. Powder?
I'm gonna say the Browns have a very good game, but I think Belichick I just think again he's too good of a coach. I think he really wants to prove everybody that how good of a coach he really is. And I think the Patriots gonna win this one 30-20.
All right, Week 11, Thursday Night Football at the Atlanta Falcons, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Start with Matty D on this one at Atlanta.
I think this is going to be a track meet for the New England Patriots coming off Thursday night in the Dome, light up the scoreboard, and they go ahead and win 31-17.
Okay, Liam?
I think the Patriots unfortunately take the L here. They're probably going to get smoked by that dumbass Kyle Pitts, and I think they end up coming away with the loss at 21-24.
Okay, so 24-21 Falcons victory. Powder?
I just think that again, Belichick, this is a part of the year where he's going to get a bunch of wins quickly and kind of make the playoff push. So I think the Patriots are going to take this one 34-20.
One thing I'm going to say about the Falcons. Patriots 31, Falcons 21. Okay. Week 12, home against the Tennessee Titans. Sunday, November 28th, 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. Start with Liam. Go ahead.
This is honestly one of the harder, maybe the hardest game for me to predict. They just control the tempo so much on their offense. The Tennessee Titans do that. It is hard for me to say they come away with a win here. The Patriots will have all their linebackers back, including Dante Hightower, the love of my life, and they were able to get back. Was it Kyle Van Noy from the Dolphins? They got
Van Noy, yeah.
back. Yep. So that's big time. But King Henry's going to run through them. So I think this is a slow grit and grind game where the Patriots lose 16-10.
Okay. Powder.
I just, like I said, I think this is a streak. The point of the schedule, the Patriots have a little streak, and I think this one's going to be a really, really close one because of, like you just said, Liam, Derrick Henry, but I just think the Patriots are going to be too much for the Titans, and I think they're going to take this one 18-14.
Okay. I'm going to go next. I think Derrick Henry touches the ball 30 times this game. I think the Patriots play a close game, but they just can't get the dub. I'm going Titans 24, Patriots 17.
I like where your head's at.
Thank you.
The Jonnu Smith revenge game. I love it. I don't know if he'll be too big of a factor. I agree with Liam pretty much to the letter of the words he just said. I think they lose that game 17-9.
Okay.
They don't get a touchdown?
No touchdowns. A lot of field goals that game.
I definitely
Slow,
agree with
boring
that,
game.
but I think Jonnu Smith's still gonna have a big game. He's a bad.
He got a big game. You know, you could do a little 5 for 85. It's a pretty
He's a
good
red
game.
zone guy. He's almost strictly a red zone guy. So if he's gonna have a big game, it's gotta be tough.
So week 13 at the Buffalo Bills. By the way, breaking news: Bruins are up 2-1.
Yo.
Week 13 at the Buffalo Bills. Monday night game, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna start with Powder.
I think this is where the streak ends. I think the Bills are I think they're class of the AFC East right now. I think being at Buffalo, that crowd is a lot. And I think Buffalo Bills going to take this one 35-21.
Okay. I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I think it's a 2-touchdown win for the Bills. I think Bills fans have been drooling about this game for 20 years to really prove that last year wasn't a fluke against the Patriots. I got Bills 31, Patriots 17.
So playing narrative games, here we go again. They just lost to the Titans, so they're gonna be motivated. They lost by a fumble. That was the difference of the game last year when they were in Buffalo, and then they were embarrassed at home. I think the Patriots rally, they look good, and they're led by Mac Jones to a victory, 31-28.
You had me up until that last sentence, word for word. It was perfect. You were getting me going. I was seeing delusions of grandeur, and then you did all up. Sorry, I'm like hitting all my stuff here. No, you were on point up until that atrocious last sentence. But no,
Well, if Cam Newton's in, they get their asses kicked.
No, if Cam's in there, then it's super Cam time. I think halfway through the first, he rips his jersey clean in half. The cape flies out, and Cam goes for another rushing touchdown. And
Was this 2017?
No, this is 2021, and Cameron Jarrell Newton is going to dominate those punk ass Bills.
Did he buy you dinner or something? What is this Cam love for?
Because he's a bad man, and the disrespect has to stop. And
All right, Liam, what's your score?
I think the Patriots win. I like what he said. They definitely get 31 points. I'm thinking 31-24.
31-24. Okay. All right. And Powder, did you give your score yet?
Yes, I did. 35-21 Bills.
Okay. All right. So week 14 is a bye week. So now we're on to week 15 at Indianapolis Colts. The time has not been released yet. That is to be determined. Powder, what do you got?
I got the Patriots taking this one. I know Colts got a little bit better. They were a good team last year, but I just think the Patriots are just going to be good and be motivated after getting their asses handed to them by the Bills. So I think it's going to be Patriots 28, Colts 14.
So this is a little bit of a bold prediction here. I think this is the best complete team the Patriots are going to play this year. I think the Colts have a solid run game. Their offensive and defensive lines are both very, very strong. Their defense as a whole is very good. They got Carson Wentz in this year. If it was a normal week, I'd take the Colts, but because they're coming off the bye week, having 2 weeks to prepare, Bill Belichick will come up with a game plan to neutralize Carson Wentz. I got the Patriots. This is the one game this year I think the Patriots win that a lot of people expect them to lose. I'm going Patriots 27, Colts 24.
That's interesting because I actually have the exact same score, but the opposite results. I think that, coming off such a high win against Buffalo, they go on the road and have to go against the Jonathan Taylor-led offense and their great defense in Indianapolis, and they lose 24-27.
So Al brings up a great point. After a bye week, I think Bill Belichick is like 4 million and 2. So it's hard for me to say what I'm about to say. But walk it to him. He is going to walk it to him. Wentz is going to smoke the Patriots here. I think this ends up being 27-13 loss for the Patriots. This offense looks great. I don't know if you're like a big Wisconsin guy or what. I don't think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a tremendous impact, but Carson Wentz throws 3 tubs, one of which is to my boy Michael Pittman Jr., and I think they get this.
Was he on your fantasy team?
No, I loved his dad.
Wait, what was your score again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
27-13.
All right, thank you.
All right. Got it?
I said mine already. 28-14 win.
Okay. So week 16, home against the Buffalo Bills. Matty D.
So it's tough to tell with this matchup here because if I really think that the Patriots are going to sweep the Bills, then I think they are a way bigger contender than maybe I do think. But having already won on the road, having just lost on the road to the Colts, and if it happens the way Liam says, where they're just lit up, I think that'll motivate them even more. So I have them beating the Bills in more of a slow down kind of gritty game, and they win 21-10.
Liam?
I love Matty, your opinions are great. I love where your head's at. I think it's basically the same thing. The Patriots win a slow grit and grind game. I think this is more of a 17-9 type victory where what's his name? Josh Allen really struggles in this one. It like you said, it's hard for me to believe that the Patriots sweep the Bills like that, but at some point they have to go back to being the Bills. And I think next year they're not going to be that spectacular. So I think they end up sweeping that 2 games.
Otter?
I think the Patriots come out. I said they lost to them on the road, but I think they're going to win this game at home because I think the Gillette crowd is going to be a factor. I think Belichick's going to find a way to win this game. I think the Patriots going to win this game 21-13.
Okay. And I am going to say that Buffalo is going to pull out a victory. They're going to sweep the season series. However, do not let the Patriots play the Bills in the playoffs because it is tough to beat a team 3 times in a year in your own division. For this game, though, I have Bills 28, Patriots 21.
I like it.
Week 17 at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars on January 2nd, 2022. So this is week 17, seeing Trevor Lawrence, and I believe it is to Liam. Yeah, we're going to go with that.
So this is going to be my exclamation point on the season. This is going to be the game that shows the Patriots mean business. Call me crazy. Maybe it's just because I passionately hate Trevor Lawrence, but I think he's going to be cheeks. And especially in this game, I think he's going to be buns. So this is a thrashing, a 44-14 kicking.
Wow. Okay. Powder?
I think Lawrence is going to be playing really well, but I just think, like we all say, rookie quarterbacks against Bill Belichick, all right, that's not a good recipe for them. So I think the Patriots are going to find a way to win this game. I think it's going to be shootout. I think it's going to be a 35-33 win for the Patriots.
Ooh, okay. The Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence. That's great. Patriots 31, Jaguars 14.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you, Liam. 100%. Smackdown City. They win 31-6 and absolutely embarrass the first overall pick in the draft.
Yup. Music to my ears.
Finally, week 18 at the Miami Dolphins on January 9th, 2022, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to start. Powder, to you.
I think this is going to be a big game for the Patriots. Right now I have them at 12-4, and I think that's going to be competing for a playoff spot and maybe a higher seed. So I think this is a must-win game for Patriots. I know they don't always play well down Miami, especially last week of the season, but I think they want to reverse that narrative and show that they can win in Miami late in the year. And I think it's going to be a big Patriots win again, and they're going to win 35-10.
Okay. So I agree with the win. I think the Patriots are going to be wanting to play their best football in December and January, because that's Bill Belichick's motto. I think they reverse that narrative, and I think they come away with a gutty win. I don't want to say it's an easy win. I'm going to go Patriots 30, Dolphins 21. Matty?
So, yeah, I agree with what both you guys have said, so I'm not really going to add much to it. I think the Patriots go down to Miami and get a good, hard-fought win, 27-21.
Okay, and Liam, to round us out.
Well, call me the oddball out here, but it seems like the Patriots always lose to the Dolphins late in the season. And if I know Bill, and I do because we hang out all the time, I think he's an old school type of guy, and he's used to the 16-game schedule, and I know he does not like the 17-game schedule. So I think he chalks this one in. I have them already – I think I have them losing 3 times up till now, so I do not think they need this win. I probably see him sitting most of the starters, and now Matty's boy Mac Jones comes in and does only okay, but they still end up losing 28-17.
Okay. All right, Powder, you don't have to read back all the games because that's just going to take forever. So why don't you give us final records for each and every person that decided to participate in this panel?
Yep. So, Al, you have the Patriots going 11-6. Yep. I have the Patriots going 13-4. Matty, like Al, has them going 11-6.
Cheater.
Then Liam has them going. One sec.
Please stand by.
12-5. 12-5.
So we have a 13-4, 12-5, and 2 11-6s. Matty, this is why we have the tiebreakers. This is why we have the final scores. But that's our predictions. As you can see, as Patriots fans, we have them in the double digits. I think the over/under is like 9 for the year. So we'll see what happens. But I think that's pretty much it. Liam, first time on Legends Lingo. Hopefully not your last.
I hope not.
No, you're definitely welcome back. I can safely say that. Where can people find you on Twitter, Instagram, wherever? And where can they find your podcast?
So I do not have a Twitter, so I basically go through the podcast Twitter, which is at the Rafters Pod. Throw us a follow. I post updates on basically every game if it's not super depressing, and constant updates on the podcast. So I would love anyone to check in on that. My Instagram is LMcDaid16. I throw up some fire pics with the boys, so that's a tight one if you want to throw me a follow there. Al's witness to that. Overall, that's pretty much all I got. I'm not really a social media guru.
If you're a Celtics fan too, it's a must listen. Great show.
Yes. Been on it several times. Great podcast.
Mucho
Haven't been on it.
appreciate
Still a great podcast.
I would love to have anyone on. We're always looking for more guests. I just don't know many people.
Well, there's a potential connection. But if nothing else for tonight, episode 121 in the books. Liam McDaid, Matty DeRozier, Tom Powder Cadmus. I'm your host, Al Nahegan. Again, rate and subscribe. Legends Lingo Podcast everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, you name it. Check out Cowbell Burgers in Maine, A&B Burgers in Boston. You got Massachusetts and Maine covered. And be on the lookout because we will have another sponsor that is lined up along the way to be determined, but it should be very soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you next week for episode 122.
Yes, sir.